Hi, this is Janine, and don't touch my frittata. This is a cooking show, not anything else. And today we are making banana nut bread with chocolate, bananas, and some pecans. You'll enjoy it, trust me. I buy all organic ingredients, but times are tough. So the almond flour is not organic, and these two spices are not, but everything else is. And we're gonna go ahead and do a step-by-step today. So follow me and enjoy. First things first, people. The first thing that I would like you to do is go ahead and set the oven at 350 and hit start. Every oven is different, but I'd like to bake on 350 for the banana nut bread. So what we're gonna start with is the dry ingredients. The first thing I have is raw sugar, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour that into the mixing bowl. So that's 1 cup of brown sugar. You know what I can't stand, people? I can't stand it when you're trying to snip this, and when you snip it, you have to cut it so close because otherwise you can't open it up. And that kind of defeats the purpose because then you can't close it. Anyway, I should just let that go. Times are tough. We shouldn't be this stuff. Anyway, I have 1 2/3 of almond flour. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in. And what I'm trying to do is just get all the dry ingredients first into the mix. Next, you want to use baking soda. So you want 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So go ahead and get that together and then just put it in with a dry mix. The next thing you want to do is 1/4 of baking powder. So I'm going to go ahead and take my measuring spoon, and there's a 1/4 teaspoon into the pot. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/4 of nutmeg. Everything else is one teaspoon, but I'm doing 1/4 of the nutmeg. Okay, so now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And I don't care what time of the year it is, just add it. You got to have some spice in your life, right? And okay, so right now I am going to mix the dry mix before we start on the wet mix, okay? And I just have it on the speed number 1, okay? I don't want to wake up my neighbors. Oh, there goes that theory. By the way, I have an eclectus. His name is Rio, and he's the culprit. Now for the bananas. And I always like putting 3 bananas in, so go ahead and just toss them in. And usually I just kind of break it up a little bit. But it really does all the work for you. And there's my dog snoring in the background. I don't know if you can hear her. Her name's Jules. Hi, Jules. She's not as loud as she normally is. So now I'm going to add the wet mix. Okay, so it's 2 eggs. Egg number 1. And that's egg number 2. I usually use vegan butter, but today for my filmmaker, I'm just going to use butter. Okay? I'm just going to drop that in there. Now we have 1/3 of almond milk, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in. 1/3 cup of almond milk. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix it on 1 speed. So I'm going to lock this in 1 speed. I know, Rio. It's coming, okay? We'll have banana nut bread in no time to look at. I'll give you some coconut chips. Don't you worry, Birdie. So you want to go ahead and make sure it's thoroughly mixed until you don't see clumps of butter. And the only reason why it's not on a higher speed is because it is 2 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to off any neighbors. Although I think I've really tested that theory. Your hands, especially if they have little feather buddies around them, in between cooking, especially what's going on, just thoroughly wash your hands while you're cooking. So no matter what you're touching, whether it's a refrigerator, a feather baby bird, hey Rio, or whatever it is, a door handle, just make sure you're washing your hands, all right? Can you say hi? He's a little shy on camera. Hi So next you want pecans, and I like to chop them up. And one of the things that I normally do is just taste test it before to make sure they're not stale, and I already did that test. And the other thing is, if you have a bird and he's on a counter like mine, you can go ahead and give it to him. That'll keep him busy, and it'll keep him from jumping in your cooking area. I'm gonna add some more because I like pecans. Sorry, buddy, I'll buy you more. I promise. I am doing pecans, but I'm also using pistachio nuts because I'm improvising. I only have so much, I run out of pecans, but just because you run out of something doesn't mean you can't add something different. Always improvise, always create. That's the beauty of cooking. Right, Rio? Hi. The next thing that you want to do is just take your pecans that you already crushed and then throw them in there. And then I have some pistachio nuts. I have some pecans that I'm leaving to the side because I want to put them on the top, so I didn't toss those in. So then I want to just cut up the pistachio nuts. Whoops. Yeah, those neighbors are not going to like me. Okay. Pistachio nuts, and then just go ahead and mix it. I have coconut chips. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mix this in. And no measuring, you just whatever you want. I love coconut. You can either put that in or leave it out, whatever you prefer. The other thing that I do is I do honey, and I would like to put 2 tablespoons in. So here's the one. And I'm going to add the second one. There you go. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and mix all of those ingredients in there. And I could have done that earlier and just lifted it up, but I didn't. It was just easier for me to put the nuts in that way. You really can lift it and put it in, but I just opted for this. So, okay, this is the fun part. Okay, I love adding the coconut chips, and I love adding the chocolate, the dark chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. And then I'll go ahead and stir this up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a generous amount. And I love coconut spray. It's wonderful. So what you want to do is go ahead and spray a generous spray so then it could just slide right out of the pan. Okay? That's just me. I don't like things sticking to the pan that you can't just flip out. Okay? All right. Go ahead and pour it into this bad boy. Go ahead and take your spatula. Now I'm going to add some extra pecans to the top of it. So it'll just bake that on. And then I'm going to add some coconut chips. Okay. Go ahead and put it in your oven. And it's at 350 again. Hola, baby. ¿Cómo estás? And then you just want to set it at 60 minutes. Every oven is different, but I am setting it for 60 minutes, all right? Thank you so much for joining me on Don't Touch My Frittata and joining me in the kitchen today to make banana nut bread. Be safe and join me on the next time. You can like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me on Don't Touch My Frittata. And I just spilled water all over my arm.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't?
energy drink. Hey, come back next week.